ME8593 Design of Machine Elements. Unit 3 Temporary and Permanent Joints. Threaded Fasteners. Hello students, here in this video we will see the topics about Introduction to Threaded Joints, Basic types of Screw Fastening, Common types of Threaded Fastening. Presented by Department of Mechanical Engineering, Thandai Periyar Government Institute of Technology, Vellore. First of all, threaded joint. Threaded joint is defined as a separatable joint of two or more machine parts that are held together by means of threaded fastening such as a bolt and a nut. The silent features of these definitions are as follows. The threaded joints are used to hold two or more machine parts together. Here, these parts can be dismantled if required without any damages to the machine parts. Therefore, threaded joints are detachable joint unlike welded joints because welded joints are the permanent joints. Here, threaded joints are temporary joints. Okay, next one is thread is a basic element of these joints. Thread is formed by cutting a helical grooves on the surface of cylindrical rod or cylindrical hole. The threaded elements can take the shape of the bolt and nut, screws and studs. Sometimes threads are cut on the part to the joint. The threaded joints are extensively used in mechanical assemblies. It has been observed that over 60% of parts have threaded joints. In the mechanical assembly, more than 60% of parts are assembled by threaded joints only. Advantages of threaded joints. The parts are held together by means of large clamping force. That means there is wedge action at the threads which increase the clamping force. There is no loosening of parts. Therefore, threaded joints are reliable joints. The thread parts are assembled by means of spanner. Here, the length of the spanner is large compared with the radius of the thread. Therefore, the mechanical advantages is more and force required to tighten the joint is small. The threaded joints have a small overall dimension resulting in compact construction. The threads are self-locking. Therefore, threaded joints can be placed in any position. Likewise, vertical, horizontal, or inclined. Threaded fasteners are economical to manufacture. That means the manufacturing process is very simple. High accuracy can be maintained for the threaded components. The parts joined together by threaded joints can be detached as it is required. This requirement is essential in certain applications for the purpose of inspection, repair and replacement. The threaded fasteners are standardized and a wide variety of available for different operating conditions and applications. Disadvantages of threaded joints. Threaded joints require holes in the machine parts that are to be clamped. This results stress concentration near the threaded portion of the parts. Such areas will get the fatigue failure. Threaded joints loosen when subjected to vibration. Because of the vibration, the threaded joints can be loosened. Threaded fasteners are considered as a major obstacle for efficient assembly. Therefore, design for manufacture and assembly DFMA called recommended minimum number of threaded fastener. Note, the strength of the threaded joints is not comparable with that of riveted and welded joints. Threaded fastenings are classified according to their shape and the purpose of use. The common types of threaded fastenings are through bolts, tape bolts, and stud. This figure shows the figure A shows the through bolt assembly, and figure B shows the tape bolt, and figure C shows the stud assembly. Okay, first of all, let's see about the through bolts. A through bolt is simply called bolt and nut assembly. Let's see, this is the through bolt assembly. Okay, the bolt containing a cylindrical rod with head at one end and threaded at the other. The through bolts contain cylindrical rod threaded at the one end and head at the one end. Okay, the cylindrical portion between the head and the thread is called shank. The cylindrical portion between the threaded portion and the head is called shank. This plain portion is called as a shank. Okay, the threaded portion of the bolt is screwed onto the nut. The threaded portion of the bolt is screwed onto the nut. Okay, the head of the bolt and the nut are either hexagonal or square shape. The head of the bolt and nut are either hexagonal or square shape used in the industries. Hexagonal head bolts and nut are popular to use in machine building industries, and square head and nut are used in mostly with rough type of work like a construction work. The through bolts are used under the following condition. Some of the conditions only through bolts are used in industries. Let's see what are all the conditions they are using in industry. The first condition is the parts that are fastened have medium thickness. For example, plastic, flange or beams, and space is available to accommodate the bolt, head and the nut. The space should be available to accommodate the spanner to tighten the nut. Let's see, the part that have fastened have medium thickness. Here this is the through bolt assembly. This is the part 1, this is the part 2, this is the bolt and nut assembly. Here when we have the medium thickness of the part, this is the part 1, this is the part 2, both are the medium thickness. For this condition we are using the through bolt assembly. And second condition is the part material is too weak to make the durable threads. The part material is too weak. The material properties is weak to make the threads. And for that condition, we are using the through bolt assembly. Here the holes are only plain holes are here only. Okay. And third condition is the parts are joined to require frequent dismantling or reassembly. When we are using the frequently dismantling or reassembly, for this purpose we are using the through bolt assembly. The bolt shank of the bolt may or may not be have finished surface. The bolt shank is may or may not have be finished surface. In some of the conditions it will be vary. It is depending upon the types of forces induced in the bolt. When the nut is tightened, the shank of the bolt is subjected to tensile force in the axial direction. This is the axial direction. When the nut is tightened, the tensile force is acting on the bolt in axial direction. This is the axis of the bolt. This is the axial direction. In this case, the shank of the bolt can be rough. In this case, the shank of the bolt is rough. Okay. The next one is, in some application like rigid coupling, the shank is subjected to shear force, which is perpendicular to the axis of the bolt. Okay. In some condition, the force is acting on perpendicular to the axis of the bolt. Okay. In such case, the shank is machined and passed through the removed hole. In such case, the bolt is passed through the removed hole. The hole is making in the shank, inside the shank. Then, a machine bolt has rough shank. Then, depending upon the usage, the through bolts are called machine bolts, automobile bolts, eye bolts, or carriage bolt. A machine bolt has rough shank. The machine bolt has a rough shank. The head and the nut of the machine bolt may be rough or finished as per the requirement. The commercial machine bolt are available in sizes from 5 millimeter to 75 millimeter nominal diameter. Nominal diameter means the outer diameter of the bolt. And an automobile bolt has fine threads. It is finished all over the area. The thickness of the external head and the nut is small in this case. Such bolts are available in size from 5 millimeter to 40 millimeter in nominal diameter. The head is often provided with the slot for the purpose of tightening by means of screwdriver. An automobile bolt can have ordinary hexagonal nut or castle nut. And then a carriage bolt is used when the head must rest against the wooden surface. The part of the shank near the head has square cross section. This prevents the bolt from turning when the nut is tightened. However, they are inconvenient in assembly operation. Projection of head or nut gives the bad appearance to the product. And the second one is tab bolt or stud. Tab bolt or cap screw. There is a basic difference between tab bolt and through bolt. The tab bolt is turned into a threaded hole in one of the parts being connected and not into the nut. Let's see here, the tab bolt is turned and into the tapered hole. That this is the tab bolt which is turned into the threaded hole. This is the part 1, this is the part 2, and in the part 2 we are making the threaded hole here. Okay, is turned into the threaded hole which is not connected into the nut. This is not connected into the in the on the other hand, the through bolt is turned into the nut. Here the through bolt which is connected into the nut, in tab bolt which is not connected into the nut, which is connected into the another part, I mean second part. Okay. However, they are available in small sizes from 5 millimeter to 30 millimeter nominal diameter. The tape bolts are used under the following three conditions. The first condition is one of the part is thick enough to accommodate the threaded hole. One of the part is thick enough to accommodate the threaded hole. Here part 1, part 2 are there. In the part 2 is thickness is enough to make the threaded hole. Here let's see. For in this case the material is weak because we are not making the thread in the hole. But here one of the part is thickness is more, one of the part thickness is very less. In the second part we can make the threaded hole here. In this condition we are using the tape bolt. And second condition is the material of the part with threaded holes has sufficient strength to ensure the durable threads. The one of the part is okay, the thickness part. The part 2 is has a sufficient strength to ensure the durable thread. This is the main properties. And then third one is there is no place to accommodate the nut. Here there is no place to accommodate the nut. These are the three conditions to we are using the tape bolt. Okay. Then third one is stud. A stud is a cylindrical rod that threaded at the bolt end. This is the stud. This is the cylindrical rod threaded at the both the ends. See, this is the different size of studs are there. This is the cylindrical rod. At the both ends are making the thread. One end of the thread, one end of the stud is screwed into the tapered hole in one of the connecting part. Let's see here. One end of the stud is screwed into the tapered hole. This is the one end. This is the another end. The one end of the stud is threaded into the tapered hole. The another end of the stud is received a nut. The another end is received a nut. See, this is the stud assembly here. The stud joints are used under the following condition. In the some of the conditions only we are using the stud assembly. The first condition is one of the part is thick enough to accommodate the threaded hole. Before we see the tab hole like that only here. One of the part is thick enough to. This is the part 1. This is the part 2. Okay, this is the part 2 is maximum thickness. This is the thickness is enough to make the threaded hole here. Okay. And then second condition is the material of the part is threaded hole has sufficient strength to ensure the durable thread. This is the part 2 is sufficient. This is the part 2 which has the sufficient strength to make the durable thread. This is the second condition. Then third one is the material of the part without tapered hole cannot ensure sufficient durability for the threads. Example, light alloy and cast irons. Here the material of the second part. This is the part 1, this is the part 2. The part 2 is cannot ensure the sufficient durability to make the hole. This the part 1 is cannot make the durable holes here. In the sketch we are using the stud. The parts that are connected require frequent dismantling and reassemblies. Studs are particularly used to connecting the cylinder with the cylinder head. Thank you so much.